Good morning, and I think I'm live. Yep, I am. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Rebecca. I'm a homeopath and holistic health coach, and I pop in here on a Monday, 10 o'clock, to share some of the health practices or ideas or thoughts even that I know work and that get results and help us to become more conscious of what is healthy for us and what is perhaps not so healthy. So you're very welcome to join me today. If you are, I can see that there's a couple of you that are. So good morning to you. What a glorious Monday morning. For some of you, you might be used to having hot weather, but here in Ireland, it's a novelty, I can tell you. And it's just wonderful. Mediterranean living in Ireland, for me, can't get any better than that. I'm blessed to be living in a place where I have easy access to what I think are the most beautiful beaches in the world, plus all the lakes and the mountains, and even actually my own back garden. So I'm feeling very lucky at the moment. So I hope you are too. And if you're not feeling lucky, then maybe it's this call can help change that a little bit for you. I hope so. Let me know if you can hear me okay. That would be helpful. Or just introduce yourself. So today's Monday messages, I've actually got two messages today, and they were both born out of the same thing, really. And that is that I've had, thanks for the thumbs up. I've had really an unprecedented number of my clients, plus some new clients, calling me for support in the face of what's going on politically at the moment. And just in case you've been living in a cave for the last couple of years, I'm talking about the immense pressure at the moment to conform, to submit, to agree to kind of follow the herd and do what everyone else is doing. And for a lot of people, that's very, very difficult. And many people that I work with are feeling very alone, very isolated, very pressured, shamed, humiliated, insulted, undecided, bullied actually by what's going on at the moment, and sometimes by the very people that in the past they would have turned to for support and for understanding. And there's a large degree of people coming to me because they're feeling that they have fallen out with long-term friends, family members. Very divisive environment at the moment, and it doesn't have to be. So I wanted to give you a couple of tools today to hopefully lessen that feeling of division and to enable you, if you're one of those people, to make whatever decision works for you and to protect yourself against being sucked into other people's fears and worries and anxieties, and feel strong and to feel conscious of what works best for you. So I'm going to talk to you later on in today's video about a special offer that I've put together to help anyone who's feeling a bit lost in that regard, or unable to make any kind of decision, or perhaps feeling that they are not sure about what their next steps are going to be. So I'll talk about that a bit later. But firstly, a bit more about falling out with long-term friends and feeling that pressure and that pressure to conform and to do what everyone else wants you to do. It can be really, really hard. And what's going on here most of the time is that our values are being challenged. And our values are actually really important codes that inform our behaviour, they inform our feelings, and they definitely inform all our decision making. And if we're not conscious of them, it means that we're often, when we feel that those values are being challenged, we, on a kind of very primal level, we're feeling like our back's against the wall and we're in a kind of, I was going to say a fight or flight situation. It doesn't have to be fight or flight. There are actually two other options that come to mind too, and that's freezing and appeasing. So depending on your individual makeup, if you feel that one of your top values or several of them are being challenged by somebody else and that those values are under threat, it can engender a really high degree of not feeling safe. And therefore, we are then put into the position unwittingly, unconsciously, of having to defend ourselves, having to either fight, which, that will come out often as being aggressive, a bit as being defensive, as being needing to fight for our survival, if you like, for our safety. And that's often what people who are in attack mode are actually feeling underneath everything. So that might be helpful to bear in mind if you do feel that someone's really attacking your decisions or your values. The other response could be that you feel a need to conform to, maybe perhaps one of your values, very high values, might be to feel that you're part of the herd, that you're part of your community, and that you don't want to stand out, you don't want to do anything different because that doesn't feel good for you. So therefore, you might feel that you're conforming or having to conform, even though in your heart something is telling you that it's not right. So what I wanted to offer is a way of finding out what is in your heart, what does really run you, what are your top values, and how to have a look at the order that they're in and ask yourself, is that working for you? Because we can actually change that order quite easily, actually, once we know how. And sometimes it changes anyway to reflect what's going on in our external worlds. So when we think about values, perhaps the best example is the Ten Commandments. They are communal values that pretty much are international. That would be things like, not killing, not murdering, things like that. Now, those are kind of wide values that I would say most of us conform to. But often what's running us really underneath is our personal, individual values. And those are things that we deem to be really, really important, and things that we absolutely are not prepared to let go of without some work. So those are the things that are subconsciously driving any decision making that we have. So if you're in a situation where you're perhaps about to fall out with a long-term friend, you might want to, I invite you to, make a list, revisit those values, revisit your values specifically around your friendships and your personal relationships. So list them out, and we've got hundreds of values, if not thousands, but try and list out your top values around the friendship that you had or perhaps still have with this friend or with this family member, whoever it is. And see if the order still works for you. Just try and put it in a priority order. What's your top 3, let's say, values around a really good, nurturing, mutual friendship, and see, has that changed in any way? And if it hasn't, is that the same for your friends? This person who you're perhaps at odds with over the current situation. If it has, it may be that it's changed and that you perhaps might not be able to come together so much anymore, that there's a shift in your relationship, not necessarily that you're letting go of it completely, but there's a shift, and that you know that you're not quite as aligned as you used to be in the past. That's a natural part of growth, actually, because our values often shift and change according to our external circumstances. They might stay present, but their priority changes. So, and as we grow and as we learn, I'm sure you'll probably say that you're not the same person as you were 10 years ago. So if you've had a friend for 10 years, maybe your values have changed. Maybe you're not quite as in alignment as you used to be. So have a look at that before you abandon what could be still a very good friendship. And if you do find that actually, do you know what, we do still have a lot of things that we both value and that we both have in common, then it gives you much more solid way to actually hold the olive branch out, to be the grown-up basically in the relationship and say, look, I know perhaps we can't see eye to eye on this particular issue, but do you know what? We do still have all these other things that we both value and that we both have in common. So let's focus on those and let's just agree to differ on this particular issue. Because I personally believe one of the worst things that we can do as a society and locally is to be divided, to actually be separate and apart from each other. Because I really do think we have much more in common with each other than we do have differences. And I know it doesn't seem like that sometimes, but if you can focus on what you share as opposed to the things that you don't share, or that you don't value maybe as highly as each other, then that might mean that you can go forward with this relationship, but just in a slightly different way. And even if you can't, if you're the one to hold out that olive branch and it's rejected, well, maybe it means that that friendship has come to its natural end, and often when we're transitioning, when we're growing and making room for new things in our lives, we do have to let go of some things in order to make space. So, and that's true of our friendships as well. Just because you had a very, very close friendship for 10 years or more, it doesn't mean to say that that's necessarily going to be lasting forever. If you're both growing at different rates, for example, you might find that this is a relationship that isn't really going anywhere, or it's not, it's not predominantly nurturing. It's actually rather destructive to you. So have a look at those values, see if you can understand your own values first and foremost, and therefore what's driving your behaviour, or your feelings, if you like. And then see if you can sit down with this friend and say, okay, look, let's focus on what we have in common rather than what we have that's different, and can we go forward on that basis? So that's the first thing. The next thing, which was born out of this, is that I have a special offer that I've been doing this for a while, actually. There's been a few of my clients who have asked for one-to-one coaching sessions to help them with what's coming up for them in the current climate, of feeling that they have to defend themselves with their friends and their relations, feeling kind of a bit cornered, very indecisive, and feeling pressure to perhaps go against their own values in order to fit in or to feel that they're fitting in. So I wanted to make that coaching session more available, or available to more people, if you like. So I have put together a special summer special coaching session, specifically to support anybody who might be feeling those things for whatever reason and might just need to get some clarity about what's in their hearts and what might be the best way forward for them. So if you're one of those people, then do click on the link with this video, and that'll take you straight to a booking option to book my summer special coaching one-to-one session. It's usually €95. At the moment, it's €70 only. And that will give you just a better clarity, a better focus on what will be the best way forward for you, how to manage a difficult relationship, to do maybe one of the things that I've suggested, to look at your values and to get clarity over that. It's amazing how much strength that can give you, actually, just to understand not only your own values, but actually perhaps where someone else is coming from and why they may be behaving in a way that seems kind of not like them. So do click on that link. I would love to sit down with you. It's an hour's session, so it's an hour of your life, and it could be pivotal in changing how you decide to proceed with something major, something minor, or a combination of those things. It doesn't matter. So yeah, as I say, limited time only, so it's not going to be around forever, but it's a bargain at the moment. And you can come either to my clinic if you're local to me, or we can do that online. So that's it, really. Two messages, both to help support anybody who's feeling a bit lost at the moment, a bit bullied, a bit kind of back against the wall stuff. So looking at your values, understanding those, reordering them, and asking, is there actually more that we share than those that are different? And hopefully resurrecting or changing those relationships and friendships, so that even if you do decide to go your separate ways, that you're actually going to be able to do that from a position of your, it's going to be heartfelt. There's going to be kindness, there's going to be respect, and it's going to be more benign, basically, to let go of any relationships that aren't serving you, that have come to a natural end. And that actually makes space for other relationships to come in that are more congruent with where you are today rather than where you were perhaps 10 years ago. I hope that helps. And if you've got any comments, do pop them in the thread. I always love to hear from you. If there's anybody who has questions about the coaching session or anything else, then do as well put them in the comments, or you can private message me. That's fine too. That's it. Enjoy the sunshine. And just as a final note, do watch the hot sun, and remember your homeopathic remedies. They can be absolutely brilliant at helping things like sunburn, sunstroke, headaches, watery eyes, all of those things. Homeopathic remedies can be brilliant at helping those. So, but yeah, don't forget your hat and an umbrella, and, just not being out in it too long, because we're not really used to it here in Ireland. Okay, have a beautiful week and enjoy that sun. And thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, take care. Bye.